This is Kilo Bravo 4 Oscar India. My name is John. I'm located in Youngsville, North Carolina. I'm going to be your net controller tonight for the launch of the Franklin County Amateur Radio Club D-Star repeater. Before we begin, do we have any emergency priority traffic? If so, please call net control. All right, nothing heard. That's always a good thing. Franklin County Amateur Radio Club operates in Franklin County, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas on the AA4RV repeater located outside of Lewisburg on a frequency of 147.210 locally, and also on reflector XLX525B. We can also be connected through BrandMeister TalkGroup 313068, and also via a hotspot through the YSF Talkroom 52500. If anyone has NetLogger installed, you can be sure to have this up and running. Our current net group is called FCARC D-Star Net. Feel free to join that. And Tony, W4BMX, will be the net logger for tonight. We'll go ahead and get started. Question of tonight's going to be in our launch is how are you connecting through our repeater? So that would be a good thing to know. So if you can tell me if you're coming in through DMR, XLX, or whatever you may be using, that would be very good.
Please check in and out. Kilo India 4 Delta Charlie Romeo. That's KI4DCR Charles, North Raleigh, coming in on the D-Star repeater. No hotspots or anything, but I will be monitoring.
KI4 CFS, Mr. Martin, won't you come on here, sir? And a couple things, let everybody know where you're located. Of course, you already told us that you're connected directly to the repeater. And just let us know how this is working for you, sir. KB4OI.
KI4CFS, Martin in North Raleigh. Excited to have our first that I know of in a while D-Star repeater in the greater Triangle area. And also thanks to all the people that were involved. I was honored to be able to buy the repeaters used, and then thanks to Richard and the team and the community. Really, this is an exciting launch just to introduce and have people check it out. Love the reflector feature. I've got a open spot that I can use now in my car to connect anywhere with it. And I just want to announce we have a kind of a working website you can find on North Carolina Amateur Radio Operators. Also, it should be searchable, NC D-Star Repeaters, and a URL forwarding, ncdstar.com, should lead to it as well. We'll also make sure it's on the club site. But this is so fun to just get people a chance to check it out, get started with it. I want to announce this is a hobby. It's going to probably take a few months to build up as people find it and use it. But appreciate everyone that's here and having our first launch net. Back to net control from Martin, KI4CFS.
All right, Martin, I want to say thank you to you and also to Richard, and we'll get to Richard here in a couple more hops here. But for you guys, for the donation of the equipment and your entrustment to us to get this thing up and running. So it's been a great project, a learning process, and we do appreciate you guys very, very much. All right, that closes us with KI4 CFS, and next we're going to go to Kilo Delta 4 Hotel Charlie Tango. Mr. Ron, come on in here, sir. Same question to you.
I'm coming in through a hotspot. I've been playing with D-Star for several years, and I'm delighted to have something local now. I understand there's going to be one placed in the Goldsboro area, and also there's talk of putting one over toward Kenansville, which will be right out my back door, so that would be fantastic. So I guess that's about it. D-Star has been very interesting to me. It has renewed my interest in ham radio. I've been licensed for probably 35 years now, so this has really been great. And I'll just sit back and listen. KD48CT.
All right, Ron. Yeah, we'll definitely get to your answer or comment on that question when we get down the list to Wilson. He can add some color to that and tell us what's going on at the other locations. So we got some other stuff in play as well, but when that becomes available, we'll share it for sure. All right, that closes us out with Kilo Delta 4 Hotel Charlie Tango. Now let's go to Richard. November 4, Alpha Echo Delta. Mr. Richard, come on in here, sir.
Well, thanks, John, and to your group for making this all happen. We definitely appreciate it. We've been trying to find a home for it for a while, and when I heard y'all were putting repeaters up, I figured it was a great opportunity to get this actually in use. So appreciate the Franklin County group and the Franklin County Emergency Management for allowing y'all up on the tower with it. And I tell you, it's sounding great. I was sitting here before the net playing with a new OpenSpot 4, and I'll be tinkering with it. It came all the way from Estonia, which is came in 4 days. That's faster than most mail can leave Raleigh and go to Wendell. Anyway, I'm located here in Wendell. I'm coming across the repeater and appreciate everything everybody's done in this project, and we look forward to having successful communications on it from here on out. 73 is John, KB4OI. This is N480.
All right, Richard. Well, thank you for your help in phone calls and the text and the remote support. We do appreciate it, and look forward to many, many years of this up and running for sure. All right, that closes us with November 4 Alpha Echo Delta. Well, next we'll go to November 4 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Mr. Ernie. Mr. Ernie, come on in here, sir. Let us know how you're doing, and I think I know where you're at.
Youngsville. Roger that, John. Thanks for doing the net. It's really great to hear a net on D-Star. I'm actually using the 9700 here, so it's the first time I've used it on D-Star here in Youngsville because there wasn't any repeaters to talk to. But I've used it with a Hotspot for quite a while on other bands and things. But anyway, it's really great to hear everybody. Thank Jim, K4BRU, and all the crew that helped him and labored to get the repeater up and running. It sounds great here, really wonderful sounding, and it's the repeater is 10/9 on the receiver here, so it's fully saturating. I guess we can't say there's no noise because we're on digital, but it would be fully saturated if it was real FM. Anyway, that's the story. Glad to hear everybody. I'm copying everybody real well. I was also copying on the reflector on 525 XLX 525B with my M1KE, but I turned it off so that I could check into the net with the radio. Anyway, back to you, John, and for AEW in Youngsville.
All right, sir. Well, thank you, Ernie. Thanks for coming out and joining us. We do appreciate it, and it is good. It does pretty good. It's got some good reach, and of course, using a hotspot is very helpful as well. So, but anyway, thank you that you were able to join it. You probably found the D-Star repeater programmed in your radio from Field Day, so maybe you stumbled on it by that way, or maybe we just manually turned to it. But anyway, it was good stuff there when we used it a little bit there. All right, that closes us out with November 4 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Now let's go to the man that helped put it all together, and that's Mr. Jim, Kilo 4 Bravo Romeo uniform. Jim, how you doing?
Pretty well, and I am glad to be on the net here. Glad to actually have a repeater to be on the net with, and it's very gratifying to see so many people on the list here, some from out of state. So I think this is going to be a wonderful thing, and I'm looking forward to expanding this network. I'm glad everyone's using the reflector that we built about 1.5 years ago. Anyway, welcome everyone, and I hope we can do this often. This is K4BRU.
All right, Jim. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you and all the many, many hours that you put into it, the things that we both learned together, trying to work with the controller and the computer, and finally figuring out we just need to go to a Pi Star. So, but it's all good stuff. So, but anyway, thank you for joining us. That closes us out with K4BRU. And next, let's go to Kilo November 4 Romeo Whiskey. I think this is Rudy over in Smithfield. So why don't you come in here, sir, and let us know how you're doing.
Evening, everybody on the net. This is Kilo November 4 Romeo Whiskey, Rudy in Smithfield. I'm coming to you by the way of OpenSpot 2. I got an OpenSpot 4 as well. But OpenSpot 2 is doing a job, and I got to reprogram my 5100 in the mobile, so I got to add this D-Star repeater to it. And like I said, it's a great thing. I'm excited as well. And I thank you for letting me be a guest on your repeater. And hopefully I check in many more check-ins down the coax, as they say. So with that, have a great evening. I'll pass it back over to Net Control. This is KN4W73. It's back to Net Control.
All right, Rudy. Well, we appreciate you coming in and joining us. And always good to have a lot of people coming in and joining us tonight. So it's really good. I want to take a break and go back up to the top because I should have recognized my net logger for this launch net, and that's W4BMX, Mr. Tony. Why don't you come on in here for a moment here and tell us what's going on with you?
AB4OI from W4BMX. Good evening, John and the net. Thank you, John, for running the net, and for Martin for talking about this many years ago, and now it's finally come to fruition. I'm just on the repeater. I'm actually in the basement, and I'm surprised I'm making it, so I hope I'm still making it. But with that being said, I'll send it back to Net Control. KB4OI from W4BMX. Back to Net.
All right, Tony. Yep, thanks for joining us. And if you guys have seen on your radio display, Tony's actually coming in on the DMR side. So he's coming in through talk group 313068. And the audio might be a little bit low, but he turned up his mic gain, and we did some testing yesterday. So, but one of the several ways to get into the D-Star repeater. So anyway. All right, that closes us out with the net logger for the moment, W4BMX. And next, let's go to November 1, Golf Mike Victor, Mr. John over there in Zebulon. Come on in, John.
Good evening, guys. Good evening to the net. Yeah, coming in, transmitting on 147.810. You know, I've had this rig for a while. I have the D-Star board in it. The only thing I ever used was the little hotspot there. And so I never programmed up a repeater. It was kind of interesting. I had to find the manual, pull it out. Anyway, good signal. I'm horizontal. I have all my antennas are on the flat side. So, but using I think it's an 11 element beam here for. No, actually, I'm on the 2-meter beam. Yeah, for instance. I always think of these digital repeaters as being on UHF, 70 centimeters. It's kind of neat seeing it here on 2. Got great coverage, by the way. So anyway, thanks everybody for all their hard work. It's nice having that set up. I was just gonna go take a look and maybe give a try using my open spot to get into the DMR side just for giggles. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good evening, and thanks again. 7-3 from N1GMV back in that.
Roger that. As we're sitting here, you've gotten a couple of texts, and for you guys that are on the repeater, the gateway is probably not programmed into your radio, so others are not hearing you entirely. I can hear you, but the other ones cannot. So you may want to check those settings in your radios and see if just so everybody can hear you in the future. So anyway, just want to throw that out there. And if you need any tech support, you can reach us out through the Facebook page. You can look up my call on QRZ and send me an email, or Jim K4BRU, and I'll shoot him an email. We'll be more than glad to help you guys out. So anyway, just some passing on that information. All right, let's see. Next on the list is Wilson, Alpha 5, Alpha Zulu. Mr. Wilson, come on in here all the way from the Big Mount Olive.
Man, I'm glad I'm awake for this. That's all I know to say. I usually go to bed at 8:15 on the money. But I laid down on the couch at 5:30 and started watching a program, and I don't even think I got the introduction and fell asleep on the couch with the cat on my chest. And but anyway, I woke up just in time for the net. And like I said, I'm coming through. I got a D-Star repeater here in Mount Olive, and and it's hooked up through the XLX 525. Talking to you on my ID52 handy talkie, and I've got a couple 5100s, one in my big truck and one in my F350. And really enjoyed D-Star. Like fellow said from Beulahville, it's really, I went through a low spot where I didn't do much HF or anything at all, but D-Star kind of wound me back in a few years ago. We are looking at we're going to move this one from Mount Olive to Goldsboro, and it'll be at about 200 and, I think I figured up 225 feet on top of the old bank building. And we ought to get that done anytime soon. I'm just waiting on the building access guy. That's the only thing I'm waiting on. And we have also, we're also looking at expanding to some other places. But be sure, guys, and try out the RARS repeater over at Research Triangle Park at RTP. I talked on it yesterday quite a bit. Enjoyed being able to do that. So be sure and don't forget those guys at RARS. And real proud of you guys, John and Jim and the gang at Franklin County for getting us going. Thank you. AA5AZ.
All right, sir. Yeah, it's about time for you to go get your cat nap. And sorry we held you up by about 15 minutes or so. But we appreciate you hanging in there with us, Wilson. And we'll catch back up and have some more conversation about the other projects for sure. And thank you for your help and your nudge to us as well to get this thing going. I think we've been nudging each other, so which has been a good thing. So it's really good to see this D-Star mode starting to expand. So anyway, that closes us out with Alpha Alpha 5 Alpha Zulu. And last but not least on the list that I have is November 9, November Mike Hotel. Matt, all the way in Wisconsin, coming in on the well, I've got it written down as through his repeater, I guess, to the reflector. But anyway, Mr. Matt, let us know how you're coming in, and welcome and glad to have you all the way from Wisconsin, sir.
All right. Good evening, everybody. KB0OI and everybody else on that. Yep, name here is Matt Mike Alpha Tango Tango up here in Wisconsin. I am again coming in on the KC9LFH Bravo repeater in my backyard. Actually, it's in my basement. Antennas here. Homebrew. Built it with a Raspberry Pi, running Star, an DVM board, and some Motorola CDM 1250 radios and a GR500 cabinet. So running about 30 watts on a UHF Hustler antenna about 20 feet in the air. So very good. Yep, good for friends of Wilson, AA5AZ. Twisted his arm into getting into D-Star a while back. And we talk quite regularly on D-Star. You'll usually find me on Reflector 19 Bravo up here in Wisconsin. We have right now, actually, if I pull it up here, it's somewhere around 49 or 50 D-Star repeaters in the state of Wisconsin, and on an average about 1 to 2 a month are being put up here in the Wisconsin by the group called the Wisconsin Digital Network. It used to be the Wisconsin Interstate Network. They had an analog UHF link system that had like 20 repeaters in it throughout the state of Wisconsin, and they are slowly converting them all over to D-Star and expanding others and helping other clubs get them up in the area too. So we are D-Star rich. We have probably about 75 to 80% of the state covered, probably with a base station at about 20 feet with 25 watts. So you could probably hit about 80% of the state that way covered in there. So if you guys get up to this area, I strongly encourage you to bring your D-Star radios with. And if any of you guys are flying hams that are coming up to EA Oshkosh, make sure you come up to the Warbirds area and look for me over at the special event station on Whiskey 9 Whiskey. We'll be on 20 meters the third week of July here coming up. and we'll also be on D-Star on Reflector 19 Bravo, get in the log, get a QSL card and all that too. So, but very good. Glad to hear the net and hear D-Star expanding on down there too. I'm working with some folks down in Oklahoma too, and they hang out on 66 Bravo. So, but love to hear the D-Star stuff going up. Been doing D-Star since probably 2017-18 time frame. So, thanks to Ray Novak from ICOM America. So, but converted me from a Yaesu guy to an ICOM guy. So, all right, you guys have a good net. Thanks for letting me jump in here. And
all right, Matt. Well, we appreciate you coming in and joining us, and glad that you nudged Wilson as well, which nudged us. It's all a lot of, I guess, nice pushing and shoving. So it's been really great. And a shout out to some people. There's a few people that are not fully D-Star capable, and they're actually listening in through the Facebook Live. So our page is FCARCNC. If you want to check this out, it's obviously being recorded, so it can be followed up and watched later. So we do appreciate everybody that. And we are now at the bottom of the list, and I'm going to open it up. Do we have anybody else wishing to check in to the AA4RV D-Star LaunchNet? Please call Net Control.
KB4OI, please check in November Yankee 4, November Charlie, Stephen in Wake Forest.
All right, Stephen. So why don't you come on in here? We're basically asking how people are coming in. Pretty sure you might be coming in through the repeater. How you're coming in, your location, and anything else you want to add. So NY4NC from KB4Y. Go ahead.
Good evening. This is Stephen. Location is the town of Wake Forest, North Carolina. How I'm coming in is ICOM ID 51 and a home-built DVM hat on a Raspberry Pi Hotspot, and using the reflector XLX, whatever the numbers are. 525 Bravo. I got to get my radio program to be able to use the repeater. I haven't got that done yet. But since I have my hotspot and I've been using it for D-Star for quite a bit of time, I figured it's a simple matter to just switch reflectors. And I usually hang around on 54 Charlie, REF 054 Charlie. But for tonight, I'm over here on to be able to participate in the inaugural Franklin County Amateur Radio Club D-Star Net. So 7-3, everybody. God bless. November Yankee 4, November Charlie. Back to.
All right, Stephen. Well, glad you can jump over here. I know we had a couple of things going on tonight because actually Franklin County Amateur Radio Club also has their HF net on 80 meters. At 7:30, so a little bit of an overlap, and glad you can come out and join us this evening. So I'm going to give another shout out. Do we have any other stations that wish to check in to the AA4RV D-Star LaunchNet? Please call Net Control.
This is KI4 CFS for a recheck.
Go ahead there, Mr. Martin.
I thought, since we have several people in there, if you or Richard or someone would be kind enough to sort of explain how you need to, in general terms, update your records so that you can connect through the reflector. I think it's an interesting concept, and in many, it looks like on my handheld as well as my ICOM, it takes a little update with the memory to be able to do it. And I thought if anyone just would kind of go over the concept so people know it has a few tweaks, and then when you broadcast, it'll go out over everything will work correctly. Back to Net Control.
All right, that's a good point, and I think I'm going to actually put him on the spot. I'm going to pass the baton to Jim, K4BRU. He could probably better explain it than I can, because I would also probably butcher a bit of it. So I'll send it over to you, Jim, if you're good with it. K4BRU.
Okay. First of all, Martin, I'm going to let you know that your last transmission does not seem to have gone across the gateway, so I'm not sure if everyone heard you. But I'm monitoring the gateway. I'm monitoring the reflector here while we've got this net going on. What you need to do to make sure that you're getting through the gateway when you're actually accessing the repeater is there are two settings in the radio that you have to set up. They may have different nomenclature. They might have an R1 and an R2, or they may have RPT1 and RPT2, or they might even just say repeater and gateway. But it's not the call sign for the repeater that you're setting up. It's the actual call sign you're telling the radio to use as the repeater for the gateway. So that would be R1 or RPT1. And if you're using CS9700 or any of the ICOM CS software to program your memories, you'd want to look for these two slots too. You would put in AA4RV, Alpha Alpha 4, Romeo Victor, space, and then another space, and then the letter C, Charlie. Because this is a 2-meter repeater, we're using the letter C there. For the first setting, that tells your radio that you're going to be going through a repeater to reach a gateway. And then you need to tell it the gateway. So for the second setting, it's Alpha Alpha 4 Romeo Victor, 2 spaces, and then the letter G as in golf. The G stands for gateway. The 2 spaces are because those last 2 letters for this setting has to be in the 8th position. So no matter how many letters are in your call sign, these have to go in the 8th position. Once those are set up and in your radio, when you transmit, it should pass through the gateway, and then you can get through to the reflector. If you don't go through the gateway, you're not on the internet, and therefore you don't reach the reflector. This reflector, by the way, is located on a cloud server in Atlanta, Georgia. This is K4BRU.
And KI4CFS, KB4Y. Did that cover all your things that you needed to know, sir?
Yeah, that was great. I just wanted to provide that for people too, and we'll check everything out later. So excited to be part of it, and also looks like many of us are relearning or learning the D-Star system. Great to be here. Thanks for a fantastic net. KI4CFS, back to net control.
All right, that sounds good. And I will say that, we did plan this to be a launch net, and nothing has been established of having this as a repeating net weekly as of yet. But we definitely wanted to get this out, and obviously it's been on the air for a couple of weeks, but we wanted to be, as Martin said, somewhat official, if we are even official. So, but it's up and running, and the reflectors are running thanks to Jim, and everything's well connected through many ways to get into the to the D-Star machine, and we will continue to update our website. The website that we have is fcarc.net. You'll find all the information about our other repeaters there also, as we carry FM, DMR, D-Star, and System Fusion. And so anyway, but we thank each and every one of y'all for joining us tonight for this launch net. Do we have any final comments from anybody? This is KB4OI. We had a total, including myself, of 12, which was pretty good. And like I said, we've got some, I think it's 12, maybe it's a little bit more. But anyway, but thank you all for your participation this night. We really do appreciate it. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. So just remember to check us out on Facebook, FCARCNC. You can check us out at fcarc.net on the internet, on our website, and also check out North Carolina Amateur Radio. What is it, Martin? I can't remember. Is it North Carolina Amateur Radio Operators?
It's North Carolina Amateur Radio Operators on Facebook, and then we have just a URL redirecting for resource page is ncdstar.com.
All right, there we go, folks. So anyway, that's the information. Lots of ways to find us. to find us, to find Martin, to find other D-Star people, and really looking forward to this moving along. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This is Kilo Bravo 4 Oscar India. John over here in Youngsville, and we're going to be returning this repeater back to normal amateur use. 73 folks, and thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for calling the net and 1GMA.